What's up, Chroma Clubbers and Doodle Clubbers? Embrace the power of the Doodle. Well, we'll do some more Quest Week and then some Ask CCH. So let's get started. Okay, Quest Week. This quest is about legends. By the way, this quest is by Azriel Dreamer. The quest is about legends, and you and your team go on a mission to find the rare marker of Chroma Club. So you have to go through obstacles to get to the boss, and when you beat them, you can go into the cave of the Chroma Club and get the marker. So first, the introduction. You and your friends hear about this legend, and here there's a rare marker hidden in the cave of Chroma Club. Then you get your map and go out of your treehouse or your clubhouse first and meet a wizard, I guess, and shows you how to fight them. He gives you your first weapon to fight the monsters. Then you go through the first 9 battles. Then you have a choice for a bonus round. Then you go through 20 more levels. You get to the boss blocking the cave. And if you win, you and your team go through the cave and you win the game and you get the rare marker of Chroma Club. And the reward is they win a rare marker of Chroma Club, which is all the other markers combined. So I like the idea. I love the idea of actually a team-based quest. I think that's a really creative idea. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm definitely going to go ahead and approve this. And I think that's a good idea, is to have team quests. I think some players should suggest team quests because we need more of those. Um, this one is by uh, Sumpana is a senpai? Yeah. They must complete a task for an NPC, which is a non-player character. The non-player character would be a merchant, and they need supplies. The player will have to collect gel if they want to befriend a monster. However, if the player does not befriend the monster, there might be an epic battle of strength and courage. After the player passes the monster, they might have to complete a puzzle. This puzzle could lead to the supplies your merchant needs. You must get back to the NPC or the non-player character by collecting temporary power boost, and you have to get back within the time limit. The prize varies based on the merchant and the quest. A hard quest would result in a big reward like a weapon sticker or a power boost or a rare item. Um, and an easier quest might give gel colors or maybe markers. The harder the quest, the more chance you have of getting a rare item. Legendary items would probably only be obtainable after very hard quests. Okay, I love the idea. Thank you. But I wish we did have more multiplayer quests, and I'm just letting people know in case you are inspired to make multiplayer quests and add them because I'd love to cover them in the next Ask CCH. Okay, this one is by I think Crystal the Lightning Dragon Artist. Yes, the player must travel through a cursed island with level shadow monsters and unknown creatures. There'll be mini quests to do, battles and journeys you must concur. So when the player travels through the island, people will give the player mini quests, tasks to do, for example, killing a certain group of people, fending off evil spirits, finding an item, and when you're on your journey, a shadow monster will sometimes pop up and battle you. But when you're in an unknown area, sometimes a boss will pop out like a dragon or a chimera or a vern or whatever. And then the prize is a dragon egg, which is the rarest item in the game. Okay, and I like a dragon egg sticker that maybe you can color in and take care of and have it work. So I love that idea. And I'm going to just go ahead and approve that. And let's see. I think we can do maybe a few more or maybe one more. Here's one by Sniffles. And let's see what Sniffles has to say. Let's just load this up quickly. Um, Okay, has to defeat Shadow the Evil Wolf, reclaim each marker and the Mystic marker to redraw the lands and make wonderful creatures. The player leaves the homeland to Volcano, has to defeat fire minions and defeat the Evil Phoenix. Phoenix drops markers, minions drops gels for markers. Now players can create fire. Player goes to Sea Kingdom and defeat the fish for gel. Okay, and the boss Orca for a marker. I like the idea of underwater bosses. After clearing, you have water power. Now the plant kingdom, where you defeat flower minions and eventually Flytrap Rex, who will drop markers. Fire power is very useful here. The same thing, except you have to destroy an evil army of insects in the boss Mosquito Queen. Then you have to make it through the electric place, where you defeat beings that contain electricity. Same for the robot Metalland. The metallic robots roam and defeat them, and you defeat them with a metal gel in the robot. Robo Shadows, which is a robot of shadow for the marker. Lastly, you go into the Shadowland and defeat the animal shadows. Then after a fight, Shadow fights you, defeat him for your markers for the mystic marker. Bring back the marker and restore the lad. Mystic marker. First marker you get in the beginning is the basic marker. Second is fire. Third is water. Fourth is plant kingdom. Fifth is the insect marker. And sixth is the electric marker. Seventh is the meadow marker. And eighth is the mystic marker. So I don't know if we'll have all these different markers, but I like the idea. And I think it is interesting to have an electric marker. Um, and maybe we should have electricity as kind of a power marker. I was going to call it the power marker in the world, but maybe it should be electric marker. I'm going to go ahead and approve it. I did wish you had doodles, but thank you very much. And let's see, Miranda. And this is to survive the obstacles of the Doom Forest. The person has to outrun the ghost wolves, defeat the Sasquatch Bigfoot, and find their way out of the maze of eternity. They'll win the magic of the mystical forest, the forest where all the fairies, wizards, and witches, etc. are. So maybe like a portal into that mystical forest, or some other forest. So I like that idea, so I'm going to go ahead and approve it. And now on to Ask CCH. And by the way, if you see your project here and you want me to cover it, let me know on my wall. Love to cover it in the next Ask CCH. Doodlestar 101 asks, what is one thing you would change in life? Now, I don't know if you mean in my current life or just in my past life. I think one thing that I do right now that inspires me that I wish maybe I would have started sooner is every day I write down exactly what, like the different dimensions of what I would have to do to make this the best day of my life. And and I feel like just writing it down and I have different dimensions like what I would have to do to have peace of mind, what I have to do to have an awesome performance, what I have to do to have awesome health today or whatever and blah blah blah. But writing that down and actually committing to doing it and then obviously changing it based on, my lessons from the previous days and where and and I list exactly habits I should avoid, people I should avoid, things I need to change, things I need to get out of, et cetera, et cetera. Doing that has really changed my life in a significant way. So I can't say what I would change in my past life because I found that bad situations sometimes it is unfortunate, at least for me, is that something things have to get super bad before I really go super in the opposite direction. I wish I had that reflex where even just the slightest thing off would just trigger me to go into the most awesome direction. But sometimes it has to get super bad and super dramatic. And so I can't say I would change anything in life, but I can only share with you things that have helped change my life. And I think this is definitely one thing is to have a best or list things that you would do for the day to make it the best day of your life. And you do that over the course of, 7 days, 21 days, 30, 30 days, whatever, a month, 2 months, 3 months. You'll start making small and subtle changes that will compound and add to you becoming a better human being. And that's really all you can hope for is to change for the better instead of changing for the worse. Because what I've noticed is that when I don't kind of write these things down and keep track of things that will give me peace of mind and awesome performance, whatever, bad things in my life will linger longer than they should. So I can't say I would change anything in my life because unfortunately I have to I'm in I have to be in dramatic situations before I completely change for the better. It's like this YouTube channel. It's like in neutral. It's like I get 10 or 20 views every viewing, sometimes more. And if I was really dramatic about it, like really obviously it's cool enough, I'm having fun, but I'm not in a situation where I'm trying to push it and be dramatic about it. And maybe that's how you have to be. I wish my nuances, at least for this, maybe for this YouTube channel, were such that I'd be like, oh my gosh, 20 views, I have to do something more dramatic. But I just feel like it's cool. And so that's why I feel like for me, I can't change anything in my past life. And it is hard for me to say that. I know it's like, hey, I wish I could change this or that or whatever. Yes, I would have more wisdom. I wish I could give my best at every moment given what I knew at that moment. I wish I would have done my best. But all I can do right now is just say, you know what? This is what I need to do to make the best of this day and just do it to the best of my ability. As for what I want to change in my current life, I want to figure out a way to move 1,000 times faster because think about how much I talk about stuff and move so slow. So I wish one thing that I'm trying to figure out is how I can move 1,000 times faster in my daily life. And I have ideas for that, and I'm working on them, and that's all I can change for my current life. Thanks for the question. I think it's a deeply profound question, something that I hope listeners and watchers would consider in their own life, is what they would change in their current life, potentially. Forgotten Loves T asks, "Hi CCHDCH, how are you today?" I am awesome. Thank you for asking. I'm super awesome. I would like to know who, what, or how did you get the idea for the Doodle World? I really want to know. I have a great day. Um, I had the initial idea actually in early 2013 where I was just working on Doodle Club and then I realized that we needed chat because some of the players said we should add chat and I was like, wow, this should be a virtual world. And then from the virtual world I started building that and some of you saw that, but then I was just like, this isn't exactly where it needs to go and I had to kind of develop and improve my own skills. But I we wanted, and then you saw the initial version of Chroma Club in 2014, at the end of 2014, where it was kind of like a rough version of you create stuff, but it wasn't cohesive. It wasn't like everything was kind of gel and marker based and whatever. And so it's really been a work in progress over these several years. And I just do experiments, learn and adjust and get feedback from players and whatever else. But ultimately, I hope to be done with it soon, but I'm excited about it. It's awesome. I think it will be my last game. Um, I don't know. That's how I know it's dramatic to say that, but I feel like that's it. Like it's the game I want to do, and I'm developing the skills and the talent and whatever else to kind of to express that passion and hopefully people can enjoy it. So thank you for the question. Appreciate it. Ed's Horror and Ed's World Trash says, "Why can't I get Chroma Club Doodle World? Does Amazon hate me?" No, Chroma Club Doodle World is not on Amazon yet. Let me perfect it some more, and then I will consider that. The random doodler asks, or a random doodler asks, "Ever heard of Hamilton?" Yes, I've heard of Hamilton. I like the song "Satisfied." I think it's yeah, I'd never be satisfied. I wish you would have posted some lyrics to that. Maybe I would have actually tried to sing it as best as I could. But yeah, and then, by the way, you should check out my art. Okay, um, thanks for the suggestion. I think let's check it out right now. Um, cool art. This is kind of cool, and that's a cool doodle. Thank you for the opportunity for letting me check out your art. It is cool. I like this character here. I think that has promise. Um, awesome. Thank you. Aaliyah asks, "DCH, if you were to win the lottery and have enough to make a living, what would you do with Doodle Club and Chroma Club?" I would just be doing what I'm doing right now. I told you, and I told everyone else before. And I think this is a good thing to recognize is that you should be living your life in a way where no matter what happens, you would be doing it anyways. Yes, I know it's difficult. You'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe if you had more money, you'd be doing it a little more baller. I understand that. But ultimately, you should be living your life in a way that you would be doing it regardless. And if you do that, I promise you, you probably will have a miracle life. Okay. And and yes, it's hard. Like I said, living in truth is difficult. That's why people don't do it. That's why it's just easier for me to be like, you know what? I'm just going to do this other game. You know what? I've made games where even the player said, you would become a millionaire doing just continuing this. And I had to be like, no, I can't continue with it because I have to move on to what I want to do. And and so at this point, I would just be doing what I'm doing right now. And maybe I would be like, oh, I'd hire employees, but I can't even do that because what I realized is that I have to develop the skills. It has to really come from me. I feel like a lot of the reasons why my players aren't as happy as they are is because I haven't developed the skills needed to really give my best. And that's what I'm doing right now. In addition to making the game, I'm developing these critical skills that I need to develop to give my best. And so that's all I would do is what I'm doing right now. And I guess maybe I would just do it on a beach. I don't know. I don't even like the beach. I wouldn't even be doing it on a beach. I guess I would just be traveling around and maybe figure out ways to give the money to players by holding events to inspire players to do projects. That's all I would really do. I would just do this on a grander scale. That's all I can do. And in fact, that money might get in the way because you know what? Holding parties, like physical parties where you're just having events, whatever, that's old school, dude. It's coming up with the genius idea that gets everyone to share that experience. That's so much better than just burning the money on something else. But who knows? Maybe I would make some super cool glow bracelets that only the rarest and the rarest gel that you find in the doodle world could redeem. I would maybe do that. Make a $10,000 glow in the dark bracelet that only one person could redeem if they find it in the doodle world. So maybe I do that with the lotto, but otherwise I'd just be doing what I'm doing now. And then the second part is, want to hear something funny? So earlier I thought maybe I should ask DCH if he likes KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then right after that, I remembered you were a vegan. Look, Aaliyah, guess what? I'm vegan till Monday. After that, I don't know. I think I'm going to take a little break. Wingstop, here I come. See, here's the thing. KFC, I saw that they had Georgia Gold chicken, but I'm like, I don't know how good KFC chicken is. It's really not good. Wingstop, that's going to be my indulgence for Monday, okay? So, party at Wingstop. All of you, come to the Madison Wingstop in Madison, Wisconsin. That's where I'm at right now. We'll have a little party. But you know, the whole vegan experience has taught me that I don't need to be eating junk food, whether it's from fast food place or anywhere else, or even food that's made in a cruel way or really cruel to animals. Wingstop has high quality chicken. I'll check to see if it's done well or if it's done in a humane way. Um, but I think I'm going to eat meat a little bit next week, and then maybe do another tour of veganism. I think I have to do. I did like, what is it, like 45 day, almost 45 days of veganism, and or actually more. And then I'm gonna do like 1 week of like normal eating, and then maybe some more veganism. We'll see. We'll see. Or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do intelligent eating, where I eat healthy, humane, cruelty-free food. And there are ways to do that, and that's what I'll do. Okay, but yeah, if Georgia Gold chicken's worth it, you let me know. Maybe I'll consider that. The Frisk asks, why don't people like me? I don't know, but you know what? Who cares? Why don't you figure out a way that actually you're just liking yourself? You inspire yourself. Because I promise you, if you do that, people will be inspired by you. And then ultimately, inadvertently, accidentally will like you, even though that's not what you should be looking for. But I understand there's a lot of benefits to having people like you. But I don't know. Anyways, Doodle for Fun says, what inspired you to create this app? And will you be keeping or deleting Doodle Club? I was inspired to create this app so that I can inspire players to do awesome projects. My goal is to have players do as many cool and awesome projects as possible. And will I be keeping or deleting DC? Look, we have 2 days left. Pray. That's all I can say. Cali Cat asks, what is your favorite animal? I would say a lion right now. Galaxy Animatronic says, hey, I have one question, and that is, how much could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Honestly, it depends on if they're vegan. If they're vegan, they're going to have to chuck a lot of wood because they're not eating animals. But if they're not vegan, I'd say probably 1 log or 2 logs a week. You let me know. What do you think? Finally, Pinkie Pie asks, I know this is kind of random, but how many coins do you have right now? Let's check. I have 3,007 coins. Thanks for the questions. Take care and embrace the power of the doodle.